What's up, you guys? I'm going to be talking about adrenochrome real quick and what it is. So adrenaline, when it deteriorates or breaks down, it turns into adrenochrome. And the reason I know this is basically from the Doors of Perception. I just picked it up and I read it all the way through, and I'm starting to read it through twice. But I figured you guys could use this information. So it says that in 1886, German Louis Newman published the first study of peyote, which is mescaline, and mescaline and adrenaline are similar in chemical composition apparently, and LSD is also similar as well, and they all cause similar effects to the brain, which some people view as making you crazy like schizophrenia, and other people view it as you're opening like the doors of perception basically, because like in Aldous Huxley's view, perhaps you like your brain is an eliminator, and instead of like something that gathers information, it basically eliminates information selectively and gives you your perception of reality. Does that make sense? And whenever you take these drugs, it basically opens that door, or kind of like breaks through the barrier and shows you more of reality than you normally get. So it's like a heightened consciousness. And he says in here that mediums and artists and things like that all experience this naturally more than some people. And he even says here that he is not a natural visualizer. And I thought that was interesting, because the way he writes and stuff, you would assume that he has a nice imagination, but sometimes that doesn't correlate. I should put as a side note, if adrenochrome does cause schizophrenia, the cure for that is apparently high-dose vitamin C, which cures a lot of things, and niacin. Apparently that'll rid the brain of excess adrenochrome, because everybody produces adrenochrome. Alright, it also says here, and that theory about the eliminating in the brain, that was put forth by, I think it's called the Bergson theory, if that's correct. Yeah, okay, and the sensory organs eliminate, not produce. And so what mescaline does, back to mescaline, it basically starves the brain of certain sugars, and somehow that creates the effect. So I thought that was really interesting, because you hear of like the Jesus fasting, and I fasted for I think like a couple days and things like that, and I felt different. And you almost do kind of feel like maybe a raise in consciousness. And like almost definitely everybody feels that way whenever they do a fast. But like if you fast too long and forever, you might starve yourself too. So there's a fine line there, you know. But it says here that mescaline starves the brain of sugar. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So it's like, are we piling in all this sugar and getting less and less conscious? Is that part of the problem? And then whenever you like dial the sugar back and things like that, does it actually open consciousness? Really interesting, you know? He says a lot of really interesting things in this book. Let's see. Basically, and his theories are, I didn't write this down, but his theories are that you focus on different things, and maybe it's the right things. You stop focusing on like time and space and things like that, and you just focus on colors and hues and vibrancies and just different things, and you pick up on different things. It's a really interesting read, but I thought you guys should know about the adrenochrome, is adrenaline breaking down, and how it's similar to mescaline, and that may even cause schizophrenia. See, schizophrenia might even be partially like somebody just can't handle all that information. And they're like, you know, that might be part of it too, because a lot of artists and geniuses are mad and stuff like that. And there's like a fine line between being a genius and being crazy, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe you guys can pick up the book or tell me something that you learned from it too. I probably forgot something, but I hope you enjoyed this.